Alright guys, in this lesson we're going to learn a strategy for solving problems. It's called read, draw, write. And I know that's kind of hard to see. Hopefully it's better on your paper. But that should say read, draw, write. So our learning target is I can use this strategy, read, draw, write, to solve multi-step word problems with addition and subtraction. We're going to focus on addition and subtraction this week, but we're talking about multi-step word problems, so more than one step. So here is the strategy. So first, we're going to read the problem. And when we're reading, we're going to circle the numbers. We are going to underline keywords. And we are going to underline the question. So as we're reading, we're going to kind of annotate and circle all the numbers, underline the keywords, and underline the question. For the draw part, we are going to draw a picture to help us solve, but we're also going to label that picture. So draw and label a picture. We're going to talk a lot today about tape diagrams, but there are many things that you could draw. You could draw an array, you could draw equal groups, and there will be more things that we can add to that list later, but right now we're going to focus on this tape diagrams. And lastly, we're going to write. We're going to write two things. The first thing we're going to write is we're going to write an equation. So our equation is what solves the problem. So for example, let's say it's 6 times 7 equals 42. That's going to be our equation. Okay? Number 2, the second thing we're going to write is we're going to write a sentence. So if the equation is 6 times 7 is 42, our sentence might be something like, there are 42 cookies in all. That may be the sentence. So we're going to write an equation, but we're also going to write a sentence. And we're going to do that for each word problem. So let's look at the first word problem here. Valentine and Cohen combined, that looks like a keyword, I'm going to underline it, the candy they received from Halloween. Valentine had 132 pieces of candy, while Cohen had 68 pieces of candy. If they ate 72 pieces the first night, how many pieces do they have left? So I circled my numbers, underlined keywords. Alright, sorry guys, let's get back to that. So we are now going to draw a picture with the pieces of information that are circled and underlined. So in that picture, we're going to draw a tape diagram. So what that's going to look like is kind of like a bar, and we're going to split it up into two. So the first part of the question is, they each had certain amounts of candy. Valentine had 132 pieces, and Cohen had 68 pieces. And remember, we're not only going to draw, but we're going to label. So Valentine had 32, and Cohen had 68. And we want to know the total, how many pieces did they have? So all of this together, how many pieces did they have? So I'm going to do that work down in the right section. So to find the total, we're going to add. So we're going to take 132 plus 68, and we get 200. So we know they had 200 pieces in all. But there's a second part to the question. They ate 72 pieces. So I'm going to draw a second tape diagram. This one's going to look a little different. We know that they ate 72. So 72 were eaten. And we now know that there are 200 pieces in total. 200 pieces in total. So we want to figure out how many pieces were left. So we're going to do the opposite of what we did the first time. We're going to subtract. So we're going to subtract 200 minus 72. Can't do 0 minus 2. Can't do 0 minus 7. So I'm going to take 1 from the 2 and make it a 1. This one would become a 10. Got to take 1 from my 10 and make it a 9. And this one would become a 10. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 7 is 2. And 1 minus nothing is 1. So we've got our answer here. Now we've got to do the right section. So we're going to write the equation and we're going to write the sentence. So my equation is, I've actually got 2, but we're going to do the one that led us to the answer. So that would be 200 minus 72 equals 128. That's what led us to the answer there. And this is where I did my work. This is just writing the equation. So this one you can see my borrowing, but this one you can't, and that's okay because I've already done it up here. And then I'm going to write my sentence. So I'm going to start, who are we talking about here? We're talking about Valentine and Cohen. So Valentine and Cohen have, because if we look at the question, how many pieces do they have left? Well, Valentine and Cohen have 128 pieces left. And we're going to have capital letters and periods because we are writing a sentence. So this is the read, draw, write strategy that we're going to use. Watch the second video, grab the second sheet of notes to do a couple more examples of that read, draw,